Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for joining the channel and jumping in for another video. Let's talk a little bit about what the market did today, April 21st, 2025. Well, I jumped on here early this morning and I made a video warning you guys about the day and what I believed was going to happen. And I do feel like it took place exactly like we expected. We had a pretty strong day of red. So let's talk a little bit about what's happened. First, let's start with the S&P 500. You guys know that the S&P 500, I made the comment this morning, was running at about $521 per share this morning when I called it out. It had dropped to about $518 and was on its way back up at $521. But the day today, and let me just show you what this looks like, okay, was nothing but Red River, okay? Pre-market, we had a pretty nasty drop. And I told you guys coming off of Easter weekend with all the news going on, the China situation, tariff talks, Ukraine and Russia, all this stuff happening, and on top of it, the Pope Francis passing away, which didn't necessarily affect the market, but it is still news that consumed everybody. The SPY was at $527.11. If you look right here, pre-market dropped at 4:05 a.m. when the market opened up the pre-market. It dropped to $520.80. It's actually pretty big. That's like $6 a share, okay? $7 a share. And then it just ran horizontal across pre-market all the way up into the point where we opened. And we opened up the day at $520.69 and just continued on this pattern with a little bit of an uptick. This is where I told you guys this morning, oh, look, guys, it's about 512. And then it continued back all the way down, all the way to $508.46. Now, the good news is SPY did turn around, but all of the gains that we had made over the days since the pause on the 90-day tariffs is gone. It all dropped back out. Now, if you're an options trader, you probably made good money. You probably made good money on the call side, and you probably made really good money on the put side. This was a put day, and then the end of the day landed in a call. And basically it went from 508.77 and ran up to $513. And now it's run post-market, kind of horizontal with a bit of a drop and back up, and then ran up. And right now it's sitting at $516.03. And the SPY basically at 8 p.m. stopped dead in its tracks at $516.03. What does that mean for tomorrow? We don't know what it means for tomorrow, but I can tell you that many of us are assuming and expecting another down day, another red day, and it all depends what's going to happen in the news. Let's talk about the stocks that we're in everyday day trading. Okay, let's first go to APLD. Now, guys, you know I still love APLD. It's one of my favorites. I'm going to live with it forever, okay? So what did APLD do today, guys? Well, let's take a look at the charts, okay? In the 15-minute, it closed. Let's get a little bit bigger here. It closed before Easter on Thursday, the Easter weekend, okay, Good Friday. It closed at about $3.95. And it sat at $3.95 basically all the way until the market closed at 8 o'clock at $3.95. And what's kind of funny is if you look right now, it's at $3.95 closing today, $3.99 after market, but we'll talk about that in a second. Pre-market, okay, 4 a.m. It opened up at $3.93. It ran kind of just a little bit of bouncing up and down. And then we got to opening 9:30, $3.86, and ABLD did what ABLD does, and it ran all the way up to $4.24, guys. I'm sorry, I hate to tell you, but this is a beautiful day for APLD. If you're a day trader like I am, and you get in at the market open with this beautiful candle, okay, that's a 15-minute. Let's look at the 5 so you can see the difference. Okay, here it is. And you ride it all the way to the top and you sell. And then you watch and you wait to see if there's another opportunity to get in, which I know one of my friends actually did get back in here at $3.98 and rode it up again to $4.17. And then it dropped and rode it up again from $4.05 all the way up here to $4.12. Okay, pretty good day for APLD. And then the end of the day was just kind of a little bit of a rocky road into post-market. And now in the pre-market, she's at $3.99 and sitting there at the close at 8 o'clock. So what happens with APLD when it opens back up tomorrow morning? Well, we don't really know right now because the market is so volatile and everything that's going on. But I have a feeling, because I had said, hey, APLD is going to break $4, and it did break $4. We're going to break $4 again, and I think it's going to run. But we have to expect tomorrow that the market is going to continue to run down. Okay? Let's talk about Wolf. WULF. WULF. Okay? Sort of had a decent morning, just like APLD. 9:30 in the morning. Opened up at $2.34. And if you rode it up this amazing 15-minute candle, and you got to this red candle, $2.42. Okay? 235, 242. I actually had it at a point where you could have gotten in at $2.34 and rode it to $2.44, and it's 10 cents. Okay, I get it, guys. It's only 10 cents, but think about this for a minute. If you had bought 100 shares, you would have made $39. If you had bought 500 shares, you would have made $195. And if you had bought 1,000 shares, which is typically where I'm at, my starting point, you bought 1,000 shares, you would have banked $390. A real quick in and out, okay? If we're going to look at this, here, guys, check it out. 9:30 in the morning. Okay, red candle, 10:45, hour and 15 minutes, out and done. And then it did ran down. And it was not one you really wanted to be in the rest of the day. But nobody wants to sit in stocks the rest of the day. If you're a day trader, you want to work a couple hours in the morning, doing your day trades, make your money, and get out. Well, that's what Wolf did today. So did APLD. Let's look at Ford, guys. Ford was not a good day trade stock. Ford did not perform very good today. And if you paid attention, some people might have been confused at the 9:30 candle. It was a nice green one. But again, if you're waiting to see the second candle, that second candle was nothing but red. This is the 15-minute. Go to the 5-minute. You're going to see here sort of the same thing. Okay. You had some good green upward momentum, but nothing I would have wrote home about. 954 to 961. Okay. 7 cents. But then look at this monster red candle. And then you just kind of knew it was downhill from there. And it did. This is like a beautiful ski slope in the Colorado mountains. And it just kept going. And then it had an uptrend at the end of the day with the SPY, with APLD, with everyone else. And if you had waited the full day, you could have gotten in here at $9.37 and ran it all the way up to close, $9.47. Okay? Another 10 cents. But you could have if you wanted to run and wait the day. But it was not a day trader for me today, guys. I'm just being totally honest with you. Okay. SoundHound. Let's look at SoundHound together. Okay. That's the news for SoundHound. SoundHound, another one that didn't have really any clean lines. Okay. I'm going to go to the 15-minute for you here. SoundHound didn't have really very many clean lines today. Okay. It had a really nice tricked out big green candle on the 15, on the 5, okay? it had that beautiful big green candle right here. Okay. But it pretty much ran down most of the day and had some ups. And if you really could have gotten in at $7.29 or $7.39. And if you had been patient, just rode SoundHound all day, all the way to closing, and you would have made to $7.54, you would have made 24 cents per share. But this one was a little bit too volatile for me today, and I didn't get into SoundHound. I stayed out of SoundHound. Okay, let's talk about SoFi. SoFi, I'm in as more of a longer term, but I also love to day trade SoFi. SoFi had some pretty strong morning activity. 1087 opening, ran all the way to 1115. I'm in it long term, long hold. What I do like is look at this big, beautiful 8 p.m. candle, okay, which is opened at 1066, closed at 1074. It's sitting at 1074. That's good news for SoFi. We'll see what happens at 4 a.m. when it starts to run in the morning. Okay. Last thing I wanted to share with you guys was NVIDIA. Now, I am just going to tell you guys, I'm not sure how to even make a recommendation about NVIDIA right now. Okay. On the 16th of April, it started high, ran all the way down, ran all the way back up, went into post-market, kicked up in the middle of the night, and then pre-market ran back down, dropped significantly, had an opportunity to run up. And then we come out of, basically Easter and opened up 4 a.m. Okay, up there, drops down. It's at $100.01. Spent the morning in pre-market and opening all the way down, Had a little recovery before the end of the day where market closed at 4 o'clock and closed out at $96.91. Now, guys, NVIDIA is a long-term hold stock for me. It's part of my long-term portfolio. I'm in it at, I think, 107, and I doubled down on it to 101, and I'm happy there. But man, NVIDIA is in trouble right now a little bit. So be careful with NVIDIA. I'm just going to tell you, it's one of the largest companies in the world. It's not going to do anybody wrong. I would say right now, my opinion, not financial advice, it's a great stock to buy right now, okay, at $96.62. When the market opens in the morning, look and see which direction it's going. If it's going to drop more, which we do believe it will, wait and see where it goes and buy in, okay? Buy some, okay, because it's got nowhere to go but up, all right? And it's just a great company. So guys, listen, tomorrow, what I'm going to be looking at, my day trade stocks, I'm going to be, again, watching APLD. I'm going to be watching Ford. I'm going to be watching Wolf, WULF. I'm going to be watching SoundHound. I'm going to be watching Serve Robotics, which we did not talk about. Let me pull up Serve Robotics. Okay. Serve Robotics is right now at $5.16. It's had a challenging, few weeks with some drop, but it's on sale. And it's a really good company. But again, it's a tech company. They're all struggling right now with the tariff uncertainty. So we're really just kind of hoping for some relief on all that. I know I am especially. I've got a bunch of tech stocks that I'm in right now. A lot of them are more of my long-term stuff. But, you don't want to see your long-term stuff that 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, you look at towards a retirement plan as part of your wealth building, and they're down 20%. So waiting for a lot of that to turn. But anyway, guys, listen, if you're enjoying these videos that we're making, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time that I upload a new video. And I've decided I'm going to try to do morning market updates with you guys. If you go and watch my previous video from the day, you'll see that I kind of gave you some warnings. Again, not financial advice, just sharing with you what I'm seeing in day trading, also my long-term holds, and giving some warnings about what I believe is going to happen. And if you're interested, guys, go watch that video from today. And tomorrow morning, most likely, I'll do the same thing and get a video going to do a little bit of a morning update and then have our end of day closing market updates. But again, top stocks to trade over the next couple days as a day trader, guys, me personally, Wolf, WULF, doesn't fail you, APLD, Soundhound. I'm going to watch Serve Robotics to see and take a look to see how it goes. SoFi, Ford. Guys, those are really what's happening right now. I've been doing a lot of research and looking at some other stocks that I'm not ready to reveal yet, that I think have good potential to be day trades, but I want to be kind of careful because I'm watching and monitoring those myself. And then the last thing I wanted to share with you guys, just keep in mind, okay, had kind of a rough day today. ILLR was at $1.29. It did drop down today. It followed the SPY. It followed some other trends, and it's right now sitting at $1.07. I'm in this one now. Triller Group. Watched my video from this morning. It gives you a little bit more information about it, but I believe this one's going to crack. I'm just waiting for it to explode. It's got some, some good stuff going on with it in a lower volume scenario, but I like it. I like the setup, and I believe it's going to be a really good one. So take a look at it, do your own research, do your own homework, guys. And like I said, please subscribe, like, hit the notification bell. Guys, see you tomorrow. Josh out. Peace.